What do you mean the last video was supposed to be on Dumps's channel? Well, we got into quite an interesting situation. So, the demonic season was revealed, and with it, the demons included were revealed too. And of course, the first thing you might have noticed is that these don't look like traditional demons. After which people started wondering, is that Vayne from an alternative universe? Meaning, are those even real? Well, the answer to that is yes, and the lore behind all of this is really cool. But first, there is one thing I quickly have to mention, which is also related to skins. You see, in the latest dev video, Riot mentioned that they will be changing the rewards for the Battle Pass. Instead of the thematic skins being in the Battle Pass directly, you will now be able to purchase them separately. And so, instead of those skins, the Battle Pass is gonna give you a box that will contain a random demonic skin. This way, you would get a random skin that still fits the demonic season, and you are making the skins directly purchasable. The only downside is, yes, you are introducing randomness to the rewards. Now, if all the statements were true as they were mentioned, this would be an okay alternative to the old pass. But the catch is that on PBE we found out that those demonic boxes can contain any demonic skin, not just the new Demon Curse skins. Meaning the chances of even getting one of the new skins is pretty low. On top of this, because previously the skins were directly on the Battle Pass, they could also include icons and borders with them. Well, now all of those are gone and you just get a random demonic skin. So yes, if you are wondering why people are complaining about the new Battle Pass, that's why. Anyway, enough talking about loot for now, because today we are here to talk about the lore of those skins. And so, let's dive into some pretty cool stories. So, first of all, the face of the new demonic skin is the Demon Curse Vayne. In the dev post, it was mentioned that this season will follow Vayne's story, as she fights off demons of her own. Now, because the story that is currently going is happening quite some time before the Sentinels of Light, which is where Vayne gets the new canonical look, it means that as of right now, Vayne is still the good old demon hunter. And she is freshly bathing in the bloodlust after Evelyn turned her life into a nightmare. As to whether this version of Vayne is happening before or after her amazing short story with her shamanistic would-be mother, we actually don't know. But we know that this should be that classic Vayne, which is why it looks relatively close to the classic skin. And the lore description of this skin confirms it too. Vayne spent years hunting the demons that killed her parents, only to become the unwitting host to a demon of her own. Possessed with preternatural sight and dark power, she's driven by overwhelming paranoia and bloodlust. Wild, unrestrained, and unaware of the demon within, Vayne became the very thing she hunts. Now, this description already teases what her upcoming stories will be about. From some other examples that we know about, such as Yasuo and Yone, demons get to cling to very emotional people. And it seems like Vayne is gonna get her own demonic parasite. I mean, you can directly see the demon in the skin, meaning the demon is not metaphorical. It is literally gonna suck on her rage. Speaking of which, this skin actually shows us that there are moments where the demon just takes control. That's what the hand on her head is about. Besides that, when it comes to the aesthetics, this skin just looks great. And the new demonic color scheme fits her really well. I also love the demon just riding on her shoulder during her ultimate. But you see, Vayne is only one piece of this massive puzzle. The other big chunk are the other demons. And it turns out not only do they all also have their own bios, but the entire skin line has its own description. Through a demon's eyes, emotions blaze in colors only they can see. In this hidden spectrum, every soul is laid bare. When emotions surge beyond control, they flare like beacons, drawing in demons. And the stronger the feeling, the stronger the pull. This pretty much confirms that we are dealing with canonical demons from the base universe of Runeterra. Because this is literally how all demons function here. And while the lesser demons usually don't have a kink, the greater demons usually focus on specific emotions. Evelyn revels in agony. Tahm Kench is about greed and indirectly gluttony. Raum is the demon of secrets. Nocturne is the demon of nightmares. and fiddlesticks is none more than fear. So in this bio, we learned that these emotions that the demons focus on are these saturated colors, which is exactly what the entire aesthetic is about. These bright colors are technically the emotions the demons can sense. So when you play as these skins in the game, you see these champions from the perspective of the demons. And so far everything makes sense, right? Well, it all gets slightly more complex and a lot more interesting with the other skins. Starting with the somewhat of the second poster child of the skin line, Annie. Annie carries emotions too big for a child to hold. Though she has buried these feelings deep within, they simmer and burn without end. When the flame threatens to engulf her, Tibers bears what she cannot, unleashing her grief in a raging inferno. Now, this is the moment where some people might get confused, because in a demonic skin you would be expecting the skin to be talking about a demon. But it doesn't describe a demon that this skin would be representing, no! This just talks about Annie drowning in grief, with Tibers becoming a conduit for Tybolk, the great fiery demon that was previously controlled by Mordekaiser. And so what is this skin exactly? Well, the description essentially told us that this is what Annie looks like to the demons. Meaning, yes, this should be just Annie. And the recall shows us Tybolk's influence over her. In fact, because as we learned, bright colors depict emotions, from the visual side, this skin reflects that too. Annie is almost completely black, devoid of all the grief she once had. And that's because, as was mentioned here, Tibers is the one who takes the emotions and unleashes them in a raging inferno. That's why when you throw Tibers out, it is the demon itself that has the bright colors. It is that thing that has all the grief. Now, truth be told, in Annie's lore, it was never mentioned just what exactly is her relationship with Tybolk. So is it possible that Tybolk is actually some kind of a demon of grief? The one thing is still certain, that is good old Annie. Meaning the other champions should be themselves too, right? Well, when it comes to Kindred, yes. Even demons must face Kindred. Lamp offers stillness, a quiet end to the hunger that drives all demons. Wolf offers a final tantalizing feast of emotions. But to partake is to feel a hunger that can never be sated. Together, they are a demon's final choice. Nothing or everything. This is honestly a really big lore reveal. You see, originally, when Kindred were concepted, they were written as the ultimate end to everything. No matter who or what you were, in the end you would meet them. Kindred were essentially death incarnate. And it was even directly quoted that Aurelian Sol himself would have to meet Kindred in the end. But over time, as Legends of Runeterra introduced other deathly spirits, this idea kinda became blurry, and these days we are not exactly sure just how powerful Kindred really are. Is everyone supposed to meet them, and are all the other spirits different versions of Kindred, or are we actually talking about different versions of death? Well, now it was revealed that even demons have to face Kindred, which circles us back to the original idea of Kindred just being the end. Meaning that this skin shows us what demons see Kindred as. They almost see them as one of their own, a being that is quite close to a demon. And oh boy, does this skin look great because of it. What an excellent combination of great visuals and great lore. Speaking of which, Shaco's bizarre emotions are an acquired taste. His delight is perverse, his despair obsessive. A warped kaleidoscope of chaos and comedy. His exaggerated expressions and theatrical gestures make a mockery of real emotions. So this is interesting. Not because Shaco would be potentially showing us a demon of chaos or comedy, or even possibly obsession, because yes, even the Noxians noted down a demon of obsession in the demonic compendium, but it's more because Shaco just doesn't have lore. And so, while all the other skins were essentially just themselves, does this confirm that Shaco is actually a real demon too? I'll be honest, at this point, everyone is kinda expecting it. And because we don't have a confirmation yet, we can just assume that this is what Shaco looks like to the demons. And unfortunately, I wish we knew more than that. In my eyes, it would be cool if this was Shaco's VGU. If this was his base design, that would be a great demon. And so at the very least, boy is this skin good. That is despite Shaco being very outdated. And so, that's pretty much all the lore of Vayne's skin, the entire new demonic skin line, and all the specific skins. But that is not where the lore ends. Because of course, Vayne's skin is a legendary. Thank God it's not gacha. Which means she has brand new voice lines. And since this skin is canonical, those voice lines should be referencing canonical events. And so now, let's dive into that. Alright, so we're doing this the very classic way. I haven't heard the voice lines yet, but I'm gonna assume there's gonna be a lot of lore, so this is gonna be my unfiltered reaction, and based on what's written here already, so Loki's gonna be included, huh?
Finally, I get to wipe that smirk off your face.
So there are also teasers for the personality of Loki, I guess. Is he gonna be like a funny, like edgy, I'm here to slay demons kind of guy? I don't know. Based on the appearance in the comic, maybe, but alright.
The truth.
Some Loki.
Were you ever going to tell me?
Oh! There's also twists? So is this gonna be like Loki actually being a demon or something like that? So there's gonna be a plot twist then, because this wouldn't be an empty voice line. But again, Loki's not out, we don't know the story yet, so teaser for a twist.
Such pain. I never knew.
Did she say you? Did Skin Spotlights actually censor it? Oh, what a good guy. Hold on.
You.
It actually just says you.
Such pain. I never knew.
Wait, hold on! But it's first move, ally Loki. Why censor Loki? What is that gonna be about? Is Loki actually gonna be a demon or something? But then, like, such pain. Is Loki gonna be a reflection of Vayne? Okay, I'm interested.
I trusted you. I trusted you.
How did he censor that to say you? Why is it? What? I am so confused. I'm excited.
Murderer. Demon. She's here.
What is this bar? What? Is that a mistake?
Evelyn. I've dreamed of this. How you'll beg and scream.
I think so. Was that a mistake? I think I was supposed to like censor Loki and then okay, I don't know.
Child, that bear is not a toy.
But also, okay, hold on, I'm getting confused in it. So, Evelyn, of course, makes sense because she's been hunting Evelyn for, you know, all her life because Evelyn killed her parents. Makes sense.
Child, that bear is not a toy.
Cool reference to Tybalt being inside Tibbers.
There's nothing in me for you to feed on. Starve.
That's cool because Fiddlesticks is the demon of fear, and if she's not afraid, there's no fear.
Oh, Luxana, your secret is not safe with me.
Of course, because during this time, this is before the Sentinels of Light, Vayne still hates mages as much as demons because, you know, mages use magic. Magic is also related to anything happening in the spirit realm, so it's all interconnected. So, her being a Demacian, of course, she hates anything magical. So, in this state, Vayne is still hateful towards anything magical. Of course, later on, Sentinels of Light happen, and she's kind of more. She can tolerate a lot more.
Ceaseless joy, unnatural, inhuman.
So here she's not talking about Neela. The joy that's unnatural actually belongs to Ashlash, the demon that essentially took over Neela, for the most part.
A nightmare demon. How benign.
I mean, it makes sense. Also, we mentioned this before. Nocturne is a demon of nightmares. He was haunting Fosborough before with nightmares. Very classic thing.
Fool, amuse me.
Wait, is Shaco a demon? Is this a confirmation that Shaco is a demon?
All that savage fury. You are your mother's daughter.
Dragons to a certain degree magical.
Using its
Same
demon
hate.
to fight your battles? Pathetic.
Swen is using Raum. Raum is a demon.
Glutton. Bitten off more than you can chew.
Okay, so it is. So maybe Tahm Kench is more gluttony than greed, and then greed is the related thing to gluttony. I don't know if it was ever confirmed which one is really his primary emotion.
Bound to a demon, a fate worse than death.
Yeah, because Yone, if you remember what happened in the cinematic, he kind of like fought the fight with his inner demon, and he won there, and that's how he survived, and it was never explained what exactly happened with him surviving. That was always an awkward moment with Yone, but yes, Yone, technically a demon wielder.
Little girl, suffer no more. This
Direbook.
thing, it's beyond evil.
Hey, it's Baron.
Your agony, better than I imagined.
And of course, Evelyn is the demon of agony.
The ancient fear, nothing but sticks and rags.
The reason why she calls him the Ancient Fear is because, according to legends, Fiddlesticks is like the king of all demons, is like the highest form of a demon that we know about, and there is like a poem about one more consuming the rest, and it is teased that it is Fiddlesticks, so Fiddlesticks being the Ancient Fear is because he's mentioned as the first demon of them all.
Lights out. At least you died smiling. It's past your bedtime.
I like these
A
little
dead
smirks.
clown? That is funny.
Is he a demon though? Is he a demon?
No more fury. The ravens left, but the vultures are here. Your last meal. Hope you enjoyed it.
Technically the vulture, it's a reference to a Raum being like a bird, but there is a vulture, like a death spirit that exists. And also, Tahm Kench, gluttony again.
This time, stay dead.
And yeah, Yone resurrected, makes sense.
Yes, the first of many.
And yeah, so she is in bloodlust.
It's good to let the demon out.
Yeah.
Blood rushing, hearts pulsing, their greed. It's so loud.
Okay, so this is her listening to the demons.
Restless souls, writhing with feeling. I will still them.
So this is the thing, like technically Vayne, maybe that's gonna be the reason why she's gonna be more tolerating towards magic, because obviously she's touched by a demon here, and so she is like corrupted with magic in the eyes of a Demacian, right? So I wonder how that's gonna roll out in the story, because she is actually becoming the thing that she's hunting herself. So if she becomes partly magical, how is she gonna look at herself?
Monsters wearing people like clothes. Get them out. Get them out.
Exactly. This is once again, the whole point is that there is a demon controlling Vayne in this scenario.
I see inside them all that they hide. Fear, panic, despair.
I'm gonna assume she's talking about demons.
Every emotion, a fire begging to be snuffed out.
And that they have
Fiend,
demons eating
you're
all of
not
it.
what you pretend to be.
This is what I really am! The truth laid bare!
Is that a line from Evelyn? The truth laid bare. There is another champion who says that line. Is it actually Evelyn? Because that would be pretty funny.
These sensations, so bright, so raw.
I like how she's actually talking about the theme of this entire season. The sensations being bright. As in, the colors on all the skins.
Something in me, it craves, it wants. Feeling is weakness. Shed it, crush it.
I like this because she's now aware of the fact that demons are after feelings and emotions, so she wants to suppress it so that she's not vulnerable to the demons, while she already has a demon attached to her. That's pretty cool.
What was I?
Alright, and that's pretty much it. So, I will have to admit, I really like how Riot took all of this lore into consideration, and even though we didn't get that many references for Vayne's previous lore with like the monster short story and stuff like that, I still really like how Riot took canonical lore from Demacia and specifically from Vayne, and they turned it into a skin line that makes sense. From all the themes that Riot released so far, this might be my favorite. This is better than the Petricide. This is probably better than all the Noxian Reckoners, because this just gives you lore and it makes sense thematically. I'm just really happy, and best of all, Shaco got some lore. It's not big, but Shaco got lore, and we will take that W.